Claude Cowork just gave a huge upgrade to legal tech software tools like Clio, and almost nobody's talking about it. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can connect your case management system into Claude Cowork so that you can automate routine work like drafting documents and scheduling tasks. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to connect your case management system into Claude Cowork and how to start automating routine tasks so that you can increase your productivity. If you don't know who I am, my name is Masai and I work directly with boutique law firms to help them automate internal processes and build AI workflows just like the one you're about to see in this video. So let's get right into it. All right, so I want to give you guys a pretty good idea of what we can do by creating a specific skill in Claude Cowork that can connect into Clio. And so I'm going to show you guys a few of these commands that we have access to. I'm going to show you this prioritize command, which lets us prioritize our day based on the tasks and different stuff that we have in our calendar. Then I will show you how to create new matters as well with another command, and then also how to create different documents in matters as well. So first thing that I'm going to show you guys is my prioritize command, which is the command that's going to go through, look at my task for the day, look at my calendar for the week, and tell me what to prioritize based on what I have to do in Clio. So all I do is type /prioritize, and I can run this and it'll go ahead and prioritize everything for me. So we can see that that command has run. It has the 3 tasks that I have to do today, my meeting tonight, and then everything I have to do for the week this week. It would also tell me if I have any outstanding bills as well, and then give me a recommendation for what I should do with my time. And if I go back to Clio to cross-reference this, if I come to my calendar in Clio, I can see that I have the 3 tasks here. One of them is urgent. I have tonight's meeting. I have the meeting tomorrow, and then court as well, right, on Friday. So it's doing a pretty much a perfect job of pulling this stuff from Clio. The next thing I want to show you guys as well is that you can do actual actions as well, like create a new matter. So down here in the chat, I'm just gonna go ahead and type in /new matter. And then I'm gonna tell it, can you please create a matter for a person named Bugs Bunny in Clio? Okay, and then this will run, it will use the command, and it'll actually go and create that matter as well. So ask me a couple of questions. Let's say it's family law, Bugs Bunny, family issues with Lola. Okay, the description. There we go. It asks us for what practice area this is and also for description as well. And then it'll give us this last check before it goes through and actually creates it. So I'll tell it, go ahead. And you can actually see over here on the right-hand side, the skills and commands that it's using, and also the plugin that it's using as well as its plan and its progress here in the top right. Once I give it approval, it goes through, it figured out how to correctly format the parameters for client first, client last name, which is how the API accepts data for Clio. And then it tells us that it created this matter. So if I go over to Clio and cross-reference, I can come into my matters, and I should be able to see right here, Bugs Bunny family issues with Lola. There we go. So we have Bugs Bunny in here as a matter. Last thing I'm going to have it do is actually draft an engagement letter for Bugs Bunny. So we'll go Clio and doc, which is another command. Go ahead and draft an engagement letter for Bugs Bunny. We're going to represent him in his dissolution. Make sure you put it in the correct matter as well. Okay, and so we can see after a little bit of back and forth, I tell it to draft an engagement letter. It drafts it here, then I ask it to upload it to the correct matter. And I just had to basically explain to it the process for uploading a document to Clio, because it's a little bit of a more complicated multi-step process. It figures out how to upload to Clio as well, and you can just tell it to upload to Clio. And if I go over to Clio, I can see the engagement letter that's drafted for Bugs Bunny as well. So I should be able to open this up and see an engagement letter here for Mr. Bugs Bunny, right? And we have all this here. So those are just a few of the things that you can do if you have a skill built out that you can use within Claude Cowork to do actions for you. What I want to do now is just take a deeper look at the actual plugin itself. Claude is a chatbot just like ChatGPT, so where you can come in, you can ask questions here. On Claude Desktop, we have the chat section, we have the Cowork section, we have the code section. So we have chat, Cowork, and then we have code. Code is pretty self-explanatory. This is for writing code. Chat is for chatting, and Cowork is where most knowledge workers are going to get the most value from this Claude tool, right? This is where we can go into our folders on our computer and we can start to perform actions on them. And so a plugin is basically an additional add-on to Cowork that gives it extended capabilities. So when you create plugins, now in your conversations, you can use the / to see what your plugins are. So I have my Clio Legal Suite here as a plugin. If you were to add the legal plugin, it would show up here as well, right? I can go in here and then I can use all the skills which are subcomponents of my plugin. And so as you see, I'm going through these skills, you'll also see the description of these skills coming up here, which is telling us what these skills are doing. And I was able to build out all these skills myself, and you can go and build out your own skills as well, which I'll go into a little bit more detail of how to do that in a second. But this is the advantage of plugins, is you add these extra capabilities on top of what Claude Cowork can already do. And also you can give access to do things in the cloud for you as well on a cloud case management system like Clio. The Clio Legal Suite plugin that we have here. We have the name of the plugin here. We have where it was sourced from, which means that we uploaded it to this. We uploaded it to Claude Cowork. We uploaded the file itself to Claude Cowork, and that's how it got here. We have the version. We have the author, which is me. We have the description of the plugin, which is what it does. And then we have the commands, the skills, and the other thing that plugins have sometimes are connectors. The commands, as you can see here, trigger an entire workflow by name. The prioritized workflow is a workflow that we've specified here. And you can see this is just a text file. So all we're doing is telling it to analyze our Clio account, read the skill, and then go through and give us this output format, right? So that was the urgent section that you saw before. This week, billing attention, all this stuff here is what the prioritized command is doing. And then the skills here is very similar. We have basically a text file, which is telling this skill how to do certain actions for us. So we have the Clio skill, which is the overall Clio skill, which tells our Cowork account how to go in, how to log into our Clio account, etc., etc. Then we have a skill for billing. We have calendar, we have contacts, doc, all this stuff, right? And the great thing about this is that you can go through and you can customize these however you want. You can build as many of these skills out as you want to perform whatever actions that you want to be able to perform. So high level of a plugin is it's basically an extra file, an extra superpower that you give to Claude Cowork. They consist of the basically metadata about the plugin, which is where it was uploaded from, the version, the author, description, etc., etc. We have commands here, which I showed you with prioritized, and we have skills as well packaged into plugins. And then you also have the ability to put connectors in here as well, which there's no connectors in this skill, but you could have connectors in here as well. So now, last but not least, how do we actually set this up and use this? I'm going to make sure that there are 2 files for you guys in the description of this video. One, the actual file for the plugin itself, which is going to contain all of these different skills, billing, calendar, search, doc, all this stuff is going to be there in the description within this plugin. So this plugin contains all the skills. It also contains the / command for prioritizing your day as well. And then I'm also going to make sure that we have this README file in here, because this README file is going to be important for you guys to be able to get set up. So let me open this up really quick. And this README file is what's going to walk you guys through setup. So in order to get started with this, you're going to need a registered app on the Clio developer portal. So let's go over and set that up first. We'll go to developers.clio.com. You'll create a new app and you'll see a screen like this. You can call the name whatever you want. I've called it local app, but you can call the name whatever you want. The description, you're going to leave blank, or you can put something in there if you like to. Icons, you can leave blank. The important thing is you want to make sure you have the website URL, which is going to be exactly what you see here, 127.0.0.1 on 8765. That's just basically saying that this is an app that's running on our own computer, right? And then for the callback URL, it's the same exact URL, but just / and then callback afterwards. And then you're going to want to go through here and select all the permissions. You're going to go through and save this, and you're going to get these values here. So you're going to get a value for your client ID and a value for the secret as well, right? So client ID, client secret, and that's what we're going to be using in order to give Claude Cowork access to our Clio account. So you're going to grab these, store these. Then what you'll do is you'll come to your computer, you'll create a folder on your computer, and you can call it Clio Coworking. Clio Coworking, or call it whatever you want. So you create this folder here on your desktop. I'm going to open up a code editor and I'm going to create a .env file. I will leave a template for the .env file in the description as well. So you guys can just take the template and copy and paste the values for the client ID and client secret in there. So you can get started with this. But if you do have a code editor, obviously if you have something like Windsurf or a VS Code or any sort of code editor IDE, anti-gravity also from Google will work. Then you can use that to build out your .env file, right? So I'll go ahead and open up this folder in Windsurf. Then I'll create a new file in here called .env. You want to make sure that when you create yours, or when you copy the one that I have for you guys in the description, that it is just .env. So mine will be probably the one I leave for you guys in the description might be called .env_example or something like that. Make sure you change the name so it's just .env and nothing after. You don't want it to be .env.txt or anything like that, right? And then we're gonna have a few values in here. So let's go and look at the README and see what it asks us to have in there. So we've created the app already, and we want to have our Clio client ID and our client secret in the .env file. So let's go back over here. We're gonna paste this here. Then we'll go back to our app in Clio. We'll grab the client ID and we will paste it here. There we go. Client ID is there, save it. Make sure you don't have any trailing spaces either. And then we're gonna go ahead and grab the client secret and do the same thing here where we go back and we paste the client secret in here as well. So there we go. That's our .env file set up. The only other file that we're going to need is our tokens, our Clio tokens JSON file. So that's going to be Clio_tokens.json that we're going to have here. And what I'll do is I'll come back here and just follow the steps. So this gives us a URL to go to. We'll copy it, come into Safari, paste the URL, and then what you have to do is you have to substitute this section where it says your client ID. You have to substitute that with your own client ID. And don't worry about my credentials, guys. I'll delete these before I post a video, so don't try to use my credentials, obviously. But I'll take the client ID, paste it in here, go ahead and run this. Then it'll ask for your permission. This app will want to do all these things that you gave it permission to do before when you check those boxes. So go ahead and click allow access. And you'll get to this page where it says Safari can't connect to server, which is fine. What we need is the code from the URL in the browser. So all you have to do is come to the browser and you're going to see a code here. You're going to see callback question and then code equals. And you want to just copy the code after that equal sign. And then we'll be using that to fill in the code section to get the tokens for our Clio account. So just come back over here. For now, we'll just paste it in here. We'll call this code equals, and then paste this. And then we'll also grab the full request as well from the README file. So go ahead and copy that, come back over to the Clio tokens JSON file, paste that, and then we just have to fill in a couple of variables here, right? So client_ID is going to be our client ID. So we can go ahead and grab that from here, from the client ID section. Go ahead, grab that and paste that. Client secret, we're going to go ahead and grab that, paste client secret here. The code that we copied is going to be this code here that we got from the URL. So go ahead and paste that code in. And then now we have the command that we need. So now we can copy this whole thing. Let's copy from the top of the curl to the bottom. Copy this. Then if you're on Mac, you can just command space to open up your terminal. And then you can just paste that exact command in your terminal. Go ahead and hit enter and you'll get back this JSON here. So this is just the access token that Cowork's going to be able to use to access your Clio account. And so what we'll do here is just copy this JSON object. We'll come into the Clio tokens.json and we can delete all this now. And we can paste in that token, save it here. And now we're done. So now that you have .env and the Clio_tokens JSON, if I were to go into Cowork, come to a new task, choose a different folder, I can choose the Clio co-working folder, open that up, and that's going to have everything that I need to be able to connect to Clio. And then for you to get the plugin, which the link to the plugin is going to be in the description. You can go and grab that plugin and download it. Once you have it downloaded, you're just going to come into the customize section. You're going to come into where it says personal plugins, click the plus button, and then click upload a plugin. Browse files, and then select the Clio Legal Suite plugin and go ahead and open it, and then you'll have the Legal Suite plugin in here as well. Real quick, if you are the owner of a boutique law firm and you want help building out skills like these so you can maximize AI tools like Claude Cowork, there's a link you can click on in the description to find out where you can get more help with that. So that's how you can connect your case management system into AI tools like Claude Cowork. If you want the actual skill from this video, you can find that for free in a link in the description down below. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss any more videos like these, and comment to also let me know what other kinds of videos you want to see. Thanks a ton for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week.